Oh, is it working now? All right, it looks like it's working. Okay. Sick. um All right. I don't know what fixed it, but we're fixed. So we're live now. I'm going to go ahead and restart Moto before we even get started here because it's been open for a while. Cool. Okay, so we're going to play some modern Jank today. At least, that's the plan. Not sure what was up with the upload speed there. But I was, like, literally my bitrate was, like, in the double-digit kilobytes. Like, only the audio was getting through. And it was like, you're dropping 99.8% of your frames. I was like, that shouldn't be a thing. So, let's see. The first thing that I wanted to brew around with a little bit was the Tainted Aria deck that I was playing with. I'm going to drop the Tainted Remedy portion of this deck, but who needs frames when you have all these birthdays? It's not my birthday. But thanks for showing up, Dick Record. Glad to have you. I'm going to call this Aria of Pain. Okay. Drop Tainted Remedy. Welcome, Titan Valakut. I'm sorry about all the excess notifications people were getting. With me, like, shutting the stream off and turning it back on again. But as a software engineer, I feel like that's my only solution to fixing technological problems. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wanted another Grove in this deck. The old, did you cycle the power approach? Yeah. I mean, like, it's one of those things that's very minimum things I can do. Recall 33, welcome. Glad to have you. It's going well now that everything's up and running. I was a little bit panicked there, because I was like, oh great, technical issues for some unknown reason. I ended up changing the CPU preset in OBS, and that seemed to help. Just dedicating more power to OBS. So, and yes, I've always tried cycling the power. Yep, that's a good way to start. I wanted another Renin 6 in this deck, for sure. And then there was one other card I was considering. Halsey, welcome. Lots of people showing up right at the start here. Glad to have you all. Yeah, what was the last card I was going to add to this? There was something else that seemed really important that I was complaining about when I was playing this deck for Mad Meta. It was either like another Raven's Crime or probably gonna do another K command. Actually, let's do another Thoughtseize. It's okay. Oh, the Dredgeland. Thank you. Thank you. That is exactly the card that I couldn't think of. Dakmore Salvage. It's a little bit less important now that I have Renin 6, but I am absolutely going to take advantage of that. Thank you, Halsey, for reminding me. That is exactly the thing that I couldn't remember. I was like, what is it? Okay. So I'm going to start off with this version of this Jank deck, because this deck felt like it really had power. Look, I definitely didn't watch it like twice. Well, I'm glad you did. Because you're the one that saved me from punting during deck construction here. So let me just update Stream Decker really quick. And sweet. Now, I'm going to play this for... I'm going to play this into 2-man to see. Yes, the Anger of the Gods definitely is getting fit in the sideboard. I think I dropped down on Grave Hate because of it. Yeah, I dropped the Surgicals. I think with 24 lands, Chandra Awakened Inferno might actually be castable at some point as well. So, this is like a super weird Jund deck, but let's 2-man it up. Issue where we want to be, though. We needed something versus control, I think. Alright, we'll play first. Yeah, this seems good. No green mana, but we don't need it. We definitely do. Start by thought seizing our opponent. Hey, it's an unearthed deck with multiple Inquisitions. Take Ashiok. Pass the turn. Torch of Defiance, she kind of demands an answer. That's true. Opponent Inquisitions us. Probably takes a Renin 6 or Kroxa, because we can actually play Kroxa. I'd love to get a fetch land that can hit Stomping Ground here. They take Renin 6. Interesting. We untap and draw Raven's Crime. So play a Mountain, play Kroxa, force our opponent to discard. They discard Eternal Witness. Then they untap. They play an Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. I guess that means they can... well, they could have been able to unearth Eternal Witness. They still can, I guess. Good red spells that hose control. Opponent takes Renin 6. And they're probably going to Eternal Witness. Yep. Picking up Unearth. Unearth Eternal Witness. The Eternal blocker. Raven's Crime our opponent. They discard Snapcaster. Raven's Crime our opponent. How is my opponent's deck even more janky than mine and better? They discard Unearth. Okay. Well, if we draw a red source, we can Unearth Kroxa. Opponent hits us for 2. They play Polluted Delta. We untap. Draw Blood Crypt. And there it is. Play Kroxa. Exile all these cards we don't care about now. We are getting rid of both of our Raven's Crimes. Watch my opponent... Oh, I guess even if they had, like, Drown in the Lock, that wouldn't work. They discard their last card. It is Drown in the Lock! Get him, Kroxa! Pass the turn! There's always jankier jank. That's true, there is. Opponent fetches up a Breeding Pool. They untap. They draw land. They pass the turn. We draw Lightning Bolt. Bolt Eternal Witness. Go to combat. Hit them for 9. They have 1 turn to draw something. Opponent passes. We draw Blackcleave Cliffs. Go to combat. Assassin's Trophy. Okay. Oh, we have no basic forests in this deck. That is likely an issue. I'm going to hold on to this Blackcleave Cliffs. The odds that they have untargeted discard is not super high. We also don't need 6 mana that much. Okay, Manamorphose. I'm going to cast Manamorphose and filter into red-green. Okay, we get a Fatal Push. Play Blackcleave Cliffs. Pass the turn. Opponent Inquisitions our Fatal Push. We untap. Get a Dakmor Salvage. Pass the turn. Well, every time they make us discard a card, we're closer to Kroxa. Grove of the Burn Willows. I will play that one. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Polluted Delta, goes to 7. Gets a Watery Grave tapped. They untap. They play Polluted Delta. We untap. We draw Inquisition. We can wait. I think it's better to Inquisition when my opponent has cards in hand. Because they could be holding on to an answer. Okay. They untap and draw. They play a tap land. We untap. We draw Kolagon's Command. We can Inquisition, K-Command, and then... No, we can't. Alright, play Dakmor Salvage. Pass the turn. Stop on my opponent's draw step. Force them to discard, shoot him for 2. Opponent discards Tarmogoyf, goes to 4. Has to pass. We draw Inquisition. Oh, fire off a blank Inquisition. Then we Kroxa. Well, I mean, eventually, with a format whose, pool of cards only ever grows, in theory there will be too many of one type of an effect sooner or later. They Thought Scour themselves into a Bloodchief's Thirst Eternal Witness. And they scoop. We got there. Get them, Kroxa. So versus the 3-color deck, I think I want Fulminator Mages and Ashioks. The question is, what do I want them over? My opponent's deck plays a lot of hand hate. I think I want to get rid of a Bloodchief's Thirst and a Fatal Push. And like a Manamorphose. And a land. Try like this. Maybe I ought to look at this from the realm of what does good with Aria. Retrace spells, as proven before. Yeah, it was originally running 22, and then we never drew lands, so I put 24 in, and we played Wrenn and 6. So hopefully that's enough. I think I actually need some more fetch lands, though. Like 6 fetch lands of them to be playing Wrenn and 6. We do have the cycling lands. We have the Forgotten Cave, and then we have Nurturing Peat lands to help us get through the deck faster. Alright, I will keep this. Anything over 20 makes your eye twitch. Alright, opponent did mulligan to 6. They Inquisition us. They take a Lightning Bolt. I have a feeling that Raven's Crime against them is actually not good, but I'm still going to cast it. And the reason I say it's not good is because they have Unearth. So my opponent could Unearth Snapcaster Mage on 1 mana here. They play a green mana into a Scavenging Ooze. Sure. We draw a Grove. So I can either Raven's Crime them down to 1 card in hand. Actually, I can Wits End them here. So, Shock Stomping Grounds. Manamorphose into black. Raven's Crime you. Raven's Crime you. Nice. Pass the turn. Hey, Sissia, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Opponent hits us for 2, leaves up Assassin's Trophy. So we're looking to... I hope my opponent doesn't eat anything out of the grave and gain life. They eat Raven's Crime. Okay, land, please. Fatal Push works too. It's not what I wanted, but it is what I'll cast. Pass the turn. I thought for sure, with as attrition as our opponent's deck is, that our deck would be much worse. But that appears to be incorrect. So... I kind of want to just play Pyro, but I think Kroxa is correct here. So play Kroxa, force our opponent to discard. They discard Jace the Mind Sculptor. They untap. They pass. We draw Renin 6. Perfect. Play Renin 6. Pick up Grove of the Burn Willows. Play it. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. I mean, this deck is what my, like, Loampox decks always wanted to be. But, it's, like, way stronger for some reason. This is, the Aria... It's the same deck minus, the Tainted card. So they kill Renin 6, which is unfortunate, but that does let us Kroxa. Yeah, I seem to never draw it, so... It is in the deck, though, as a 4-of. Alright, opponent passes. We untap. We draw Dakmor Salvage. So... Black... No. Yes. Black, black, red, red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will not be singing. At least not more than usual. Force our opponent to discard. It's an Inquisition. Their last card is a Fatal Push. You got it. They untap. Then pass. We untap. We draw Castle Lochthwain. Sick. So... Play Castle. I hate discarding, I hate discarding K Command, but I think doing this is correct. So discard our hand. I could Dredge. Is that unreasonable? That is not unreasonable. It gets more cards in the grave for Kroxa. We don't have any more replacement effects. Okay. Fire off Inquisition. Opponent flashes in Snapcaster. Well, at least they can't get any value out of the Snapcaster. Opponent untaps. They draw Jace. We untap. We draw Lightning Bolt. We get Lightning Bolt plus Kroxa, right? Yes. So, Lightning Bolt Jace. Red, red, black, black. Nice. Make him lose life. Go to combat. Hit him for 3. Weird effect / could be good tribal for modern. This deck kind of inspired me to brew just a little bit. I had some ideas for stuff to do, but hey, it worked. We didn't see Aria Flame, but we beat the most grindy deck I've ever seen, minus this one. I feel like we're playing one too many lands, and we need to play a basic forest. You want to win with a card that you yoink with Praetor's Grasp? Is Praetor's Grasp the best version of that effect? Isn't there a better one? Like one that lets you take the card that you memoricide? Or is it just Praetor's Grasp? I'm gonna drop a Blood Crypt. And I want a Verdant Catacombs. I'm gonna drop a Black Cleave Cliffs. I think I had a Forest. I'm gonna drop this basic Mountain too. I think I'll play a Wooded Foothills. That's the other one. So we only have 2 fetchable green sources, but that should be fine because we don't actually want to draw them all that much. All right, yeah, let's try some more. There's the bribery for artifacts that never hits anything important from OG Mirrodin. Yeah, there's not a lot of effects that just yoink cards from your opponent's deck. Unless you talk about Eternal Dominion. But Eternal Dominion costs more and is far worse than Enduring Ideal. That sounds like a fun deck. Goals in life, play and resolve Eternal Dominion in Commander and win. It's difficult, right? Like it's hard to cast that spell in any format. Although I have been wanting to play Unexpected Results. I have some ideas for how to make an Unexpected Results that's actually better than normal. Cheating it out with Omniscience. The problem is if you're casting Omniscience, you can win the game however you want, right? And if you cast Eternal Dominion off of Omniscience, it seems like there's better ways to win the game. Okay, the Ultimate Rube Goldberg Machine deck is it's a modern legal deck, and I've actually played and lost to it. But it's Protean Hulk, Footsteps of the Goryo. It's like a 19-step combo that ends with Omniscience, Enter the Infinite, putting Emrakul back on top, Wish for, and then cast Release the Ants 20 times. Please no to that. It is a deck that I want to play. I haven't seen anybody play it since like 2012, 2013. But Protean Hulk is legal in Modern, and a lot of people forget this. Sounds like you get a violation for stalling with that. It's a deterministic kill. There's no slow play involved. Okay, well, we've confirmed that Aria Flame is in the deck, but we have to mulligan this hand. This hand I will keep, and... Ooh. I think I've got to put back Manamorphose. I have to put back Manamorphose or I have to put back Lightning Bolt. I think it's Manamorphose here. Opponent leads on Island. Well, I wish I had Hand Hate. We untap. We draw a Lightning Bolt, which is not Hand Hate. Pass the turn. Opponent opts. Oh, it's one of these people, huh? And by these people, I mean blue players. They play a Hollowed Fountain tapped. Alright. So, on their end step, because we want Threshold for Kroxa, I'm going to bolt them. The problem is Big Chandra is uncounterable and Little Chandra is not. Or, the other way around. Big Chandra is uncounterable. Little Chandra is counterable. That's what I meant to say. Bolt our opponent. We untap. They probably have Spell Snare. But play Kroxa. We do want another red land. This was why I was debating about keeping Manamorphose, was to make sure we could hit the double red. Opponent apparently was playing Spell Pierce. As their 1-mana counterspell of choice. They shock Hollowed Fountain. We untap. We draw Manamorphose. Play Dakmor Salvage. Pass the turn. I don't think they're ever going to print white border cards ever again. And the reason being is the cards show wear and tear more. They also can't be played in the same deck as black border cards because you can see them from the side of the deck, so they're marked cards. Unless the deck's sleeved. Bugly. I read that as Bugly, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I understand you meant Butt Ugly. Okay, opponent Archmage's Charm to draw cards. That's fine. White border pillages. Fun. Opponent plays a Celestial Colonnade. I mean, in theory, we can beat Counterspell.deck. It's just... we gotta draw all of our hand hate. We untap. We draw Blackcleave Cliffs. So, Manamorphose. Into red. We get Wrenn and 6. Play Blackcleave Cliffs. Play Seasoned Pyromancer. This should get countered. Okay, discard some cards. Fatal Pushes, ahoy. Pass the turn. Heck yeah, I want to get pathed. Give me that forest. Because you remembered that Fulminator was a card? Play both. Sideboard out your Fulminators for pillages because you play against what's it called? The one guy playing a budget deck in FNM. Play Bloodstained Mire, go to combat. Attack for 2. Opponent is going to Snapcaster Mage for Archmage's Charm. Then what? Okay, they're chumping. That's fine. Well, we don't have to play anything this turn. We can just pass. We don't need to play Kroxa. So opponent's going to go draw card mode. Probably. Yep. They untap. They play a land. And they pass. So, on their end step, let's go ahead and Seasoned Pyro. Okay, untap. We draw Manamorphose. Go to combat. Attack them for 3. Opponent doesn't do anything. They just take 3. Sure. Pass the turn. They untap. Play Flooded Strand. And are now passing. We untap. Draw Forgotten Cave. Go to combat. I think Huntmaster of the Fells dies to too much removal. Although he's great. Like, if you can get him to flip even once, you're winning. The problem is getting him to flip. I think he comes down, like, he's just a lot worse than Bloodbraid, I think, on average. Because, like, if you make it to turn 4 in the current metagame, and then on turn 5 your opponent doesn't play any spells, or on your turn 5 you don't play any spells so that he does flip. Hey, opponent animates Celestial Colonnade. Let's fire off this sinkhole, shall we? That's a pretty nice Force of Negation you got there. Let's bolt again. Nice. Opponent cracks Flooded Strand. Gets a Plains. They have to path a token. Get a Swamp. They probably felt like this was okay. Because how are we going to play Kroxa? But we're holding Manamorphose because we're playing the weirdest deck North America. So, Bloodstained Mire, fetch. Get a Blood Crypt. Untapped. Manamorphose into black. Play Kroxa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Force him to discard. They discard Spell Snare. Play a mountain, pass the turn. This is so mean. Beating up control players for fun and profit. Okay, sure. We have no more basics left. Opponent finally got us. They play Field of Ruin. Alright, well on my opponent's end step, we'll cycle Forgotten Cave. They're down to 1 card in hand. We get a Stomping Ground, untap. I'm going to, I was going to say, I'm going to hold on to it just in case I draw a retrace spell. So go to combat. Attack them for 2. Okay, deal 2, they go to 3. And honestly, I'm just going to shoot them and force them to discard. It was a Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn. Oh man, if we get top deck Flame Jab. Opponent fields us. No cards left to search for. They have to top deck something that can answer both tokens or gain life. Or win the game. This could be Cryptic Tap. We draw Manamorphose. Go to combat. This could also be Snapcaster, Block, and Path. Okay, it is Cryptic. To tap and draw. So we go to second main. Filter green-black into red-green. We have both Blood Crypts, Stomping Ground. So this Bloodstained Mire I actually think doesn't do anything. We'll hold on to it for a retrace spell. Pass the turn. So opponent untaps. And scoops. Well, we got game 1 versus control. So versus control, I definitely want Big Chandra. They play a lot of basics, so I don't think Blood Moon is necessary. Fulminator probably isn't either. And I think Aria Flame poses too much risk. So I'm actually going to dump Aria Flame. It's a huge payoff if it lands, but I guess Ashiok is better because it's some Grave Hate. Ghost Quarter could be a card. They play like 9 million basics. So it's not like I'm going to strip mine them. The only thing that does is give me a little bit of extra game versus Colonnade, but I don't really need it. No hand hate, but I kind of like this hand, so I'm going to keep. I'm going to play a little bit more conservatively with the lightning bolts. We draw Manamorphose, play Bloodstained Mire, pass the turn. Opponent opts. Okay. They untap. They play Field of Ruin. So let's go get Blood Crypt. I am actually going to bolt them here. It is unlikely they have a counterspell that can exile Kroxa. Porter Hush. That's our roommate. We draw Verdant Catacombs. Play Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get Stomping Ground. Manamorphose. So they're going to counter this. Okay. That's fine. Pass the turn. You only declare the mana that you filter into as the spell resolves. Okay, opponent plays Teferi, Time Raveler. We untap. We draw Kolagon's Command. So, play Blackcleave Cliffs. And... I think we play Seasoned Pyro here. We're going to dump Kroxa and Verdant Catacombs. Okay, we get Inquisition and another Seasoned Pyro. That's good. Pass to our opponent. They uptick Teferi to 6. They play a second Field of Ruin. We untap. Draw Nurturing Peatland. So... go to combat. Attack our opponent? Yeah, attack our opponent. We hit them for 3. They go to 11. Inquisition. Opponent is going to Field of Ruin, our Stomping Ground. Float red mana. Get... I guess it doesn't matter. Black mana. Okay. Opponent gets blue. We take... Opponent has Supreme Verdict, huh? Take Mana Leak. Then play Nurturing Peatland. And we're going to play Kroxa because it best deals with my opponent playing Verdict. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think my opponent should not have active. I guess field. They had to field because they don't have double white. Like, opponent kept the Wrath, but their mana base isn't supportive of it right now. That was just a weird time to field, I think. They should have waited until our end step. Because, like, doing that in response gave me enough mana to cast Kroxa. Whereas, like, if they had just let Inquisition resolve, I probably could have taken Archmage's Charm. Maybe that was their game plan, was to force me to take Mana Leak. It just seemed questionable. Opponent discards Archmage's Charm. Alright. Pass the turn. Opponent needs to top deck white mana to really stand a chance. They have 2 draws at it. Thinking like, okay, they found it. So they fetch a basic plains. They uptick Teferi to 7. So they're going to instant speed a Supreme Verdict, it looks like. We untap and draw Grove. Go to combat. They should cast it here. Okay. So they do. We lose all of our guys. Now we know the last card in their hand is Big Teferi. Which, Big Teferi would be a problem if it resolved. It's, we're not playing Tainted Aria. Or we're not playing Tainted Aria, we're playing, just Aria. I took out, Tainted Remedy. So we're going to force them to discard and shoot them. And we'll play Blood Crypt tapped. But this deals with the big Planeswalker that we otherwise have no answer to. So, Blood Crypt tapped. Pass the turn. I could have played it untapped there to cycle the Nurturing Peatland. But I kind of... I mean, I guess that's fine. Oh, great. What'd they top deck? They field my Nurturing Peatland. The Fool! For now, I could cast Kroxa again. Tale about Big T. We untap. Draw a Lightning Bolt. Hang on a minute. I have 6 cards in my grave, meaning I can leave exactly Seasoned Pyromancer there. Oh no, hang on. I have to bolt them first. We'll play Grove to play around, I guess, a Mana Tithe. Opponent has to discard. If they have a path, they're taking 3 damage here. Okay, opponent has Snapcaster for Opt. So they can cast Opt to try and draw a non-land card. So they don't take any damage here. Yeah, they've been... Secret Lairs have been taking forever to ship out. Okay, opponent drew Field of Ruin and took 3. Oh, no, they just decided to take 3 rather than discard the card they were planning on drawing. That's fine. So they have 2 cards in hand. If Kroxa ends up attacking, that's probably bad for them. So they yeet Kroxa back to hand. We lose Season Pyro. They lose their grave. Ah, yes, the all-text basics. They are quite silly. We draw Castle Lochthwain. So, attempt to play Kroxa. It's never going to have more utility than this. So, opponent has to discard Rest in Peace, number 2. Okay. Play Castle Lochthwain. Then we play our Divination here. We draw. They're dead to Bolt if we draw Bolt. Forgotten Cave. Okay. Pass the turn. We can't Flame Jab them. There's a Rest in Peace. That's only half their life total. But yes, Flame Jab is in the deck for people now watching. There's a Singleton Flame Jab. Alright. Opponent's gonna yeet Pyromancer back to hand. Flame Shock? Which card is Flame Shock? Opponent attacks us for 2, that's fine. We go to 9. They're going to oust their own Snapcaster Mage to gain life. You get out of the danger zone. Then they play a Flooded Strand. It's Flame Jab, but it shocks instead. That's Molten Vortex. The card already exists. We untap. We draw. Another Grove. I didn't cycle on my opponent's end step because I didn't want them to gain a life off of Grove of the Burn Willows. So we'll cycle Forgotten Cave here. Bolt with Retrace for 2 mana? No. It is an enchantment, but it is effectively the same thing. So we seasoned Pyromancer here. We discard Dackmore, Salvage, and Grove. We get Thoughtseize and Ashiok. Kind of want to play Ashiok. So I think I'm gonna... Opponent does have 1 card in hand, but this gets rid of a few things if we can actually mill them. Bolt with Retrace for 2 Phyrexian mana? No, Retrace does not have a cost. Retrace is the cost of the card. So if you're saying the cost of the card is Lightning Bolt for 2 Phyrexian mana, you lose 4 life, your opponent loses 3, that card is so unbelievably broken. Rest in Peace is symmetrical, yes. We get Pathed. It was their last card in hand. We get a Mountain. So next turn we play another Seasoned Pyro, because this card just draws so many cards. Yeah, I remember Symmetrical Design. I remember when you had to work to get effects to work for you. It wouldn't be happy Burn player noises. It would be happy freaking Death Shadow player noises. Such a card will never exist. Okay. You know what? I am gonna Thoughtseize here. I'm missing out on a token by doing this, but it's fine. Okay, they're holding a land. Play Pyromancer. Ditch Fatal Push. There's our Flame Jab. You know what? Oh, actually, this matters. Flame Jab to Fairy so they can't draw an extra card. You know what I don't miss at all and will never? Oko. In any format. I still have to deal with him in Cube. And it's not fun. That card is not fun ever. Don't lie. When you have it and your opponent doesn't. Alright, we untap. We draw Kroxa. So mill our opponent. Go to combat. What's the worst they're gonna do? Make a super elk out of my elk? Hit our opponent for 3. They flash in timely reinforcements. They get to gain 6 life. Like a jerk. Presumably they double block one and then block the other. How's it? Yeah, pretty sure that did happen. Okay. Oh, I can't Fatal Push at instant speed. Never mind. Okay. So then we burn spell them. Can't believe they top decked a timely reinforcements. I'm gonna activate Castle Lochthwain. We're gonna lose 2 life. Manamorphose. Alright, pass the turn. Well, they can't timely us again, that's for sure. They top deck an Opt. They uptick to Fairy to 4. We untap. We draw another Ashiok. So start off by milling them. Then we'll Manamorphose into red-black. We get another Thoughtseize, so I am going to cast it. Watch this be cryptic. It is. Alright. So then what we'll do is play a new Ashiok. The best part, though, is the complete lack of respect that Oko got during spoiler season. Isn't that almost every single card that is broken in every format? Like, people said the same thing about Liliana of the Veil. Like, oh, this card's broken. Why would you not play X or Y instead of it? I thought Uro was going to be meh, too, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Hogak was speculated to be busted day 1. Okay, but the overwhelming majority of cards are like, oh, this card's so super strong, or this card's not super strong, and they're wrong almost every time. So turn off auto yields here. Dark Confidant was a stupid card. Opponent plays a land. I will be activating Castle Lockthwain again. And it turns out that Dark Confidant is just strictly better than Phyrexian Arena. And it dies to all of your own removal spells it draws you, so it never kills you. And I think out of, like, all of the years I've been playing against Jund, I have seen a Jund opponent die to Confidant twice in, like, the decade of Magic that I've played. And the first time was because my opponent got ultra greedy with their Jund list and was playing Tassiger and freaking Dark Confidant in the same deck. Lava axed himself. Like, it was pretty ridiculous. That's the same. It's the reason why, like, Dark Tutelage is not a good card. I don't even know if my opponent has ways to win left. They probably have a Snapcaster they're going to kill me with. So, filter into red-black. Opponent spell snares. You got it. Maybe they're hoping I time out? I guess that's possible. But we have them dead to Ashiok. Play Black Cleave Cliffs. Pass the turn. I see no reason to activate Castle again. Can't believe we're going to get him with the mill. That is, unless my opponent has another Snapcaster in their deck or something that deals direct damage. We've gotten rid of, I think, both of the Colonnades they play. I see 2 Snapcasters in their Exile Zone / Graveyard. Yeah, I'll be pretty happy if we can get the mill win. I'm actually surprised at how relatively little impact Mind Sculptor has had in the modern format since his unbanning. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's just going to be so broken. Opponent scoops. We got the mill win! Alright, that's 2 in a row with this deck, by the way. We have not seen Aria flame a single time, but it hasn't mattered, thankfully. Yeah, he's not like... It's interesting how he was played as a one-of in Blue-White Control, and 5 mana Teferi, a card that is 1 whole mana cost more, saw more play. And, I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad card. By no means is Jace the Mind Sculptor a bad card. I'm just underwhelmed, surprisingly, at how underwhelming he's been in the modern format. And I'm actually pretty happy that the deck he's best in isn't even a top deck. Like, Jace is better in Time Walk than Control, and by a long shot. And that's the thing that makes me happy. In a lot of the blue-white decks, he's generally like a top-end finisher. You play him alongside Jace, because if you ult Big Teferi, you can play Jace and Brainstorm to exile like 4 permanents a turn. Which generally wins the game when you have a control deck. But All right. Let me see here. I had another deck that I kind of wanted to try and brew, but I don't remember what it was. That always kind of like that's the thing, right? Is like the definitions for control and what's heavy mid range and like what's control combo, or like it's all arbitrary. It's made up. Like you could call it whatever you want. Let me think. I could try playing my High Tide deck again, but I feel like I played that enough the other day. Does anyone have any ideas for what I should be playing that's janky? Oh, I know. I remember what I wanted to play. I wanted to play pitch control. Yeah. I did want to adjust the list a little bit, though. Because it definitely needs a little bit more hand hate than it's got, I think. No. Actually, this should be fine. We put Iona over here. Skeleton Tribal. There's not enough skeletons. And the ones that do exist are not actually good, which is unfortunate. Okay. A few people I know have not seen this deck, but this is one of my favorite decks to play for a lot of reasons. Basically, the deck is full of... I have to play Zombie Tribal. I've got to find that Zombie Vine deck and play it because I love Zombie Vine. Oh, only medium zombies? No super good ones? The only, like... What, are you saying no grave crawlers? Because grave crawler's important in a zombie deck. So for those of you that haven't seen this deck, Pitch Control is one of my favorite decks that I've ever gotten to play. And the idea is you play as many turn 0 effects as you possibly can, like Leyline of the Void, Leyline of Sanctity, Chancellor of the Annex, Chancellor of the Dross. And then any extra ones you draw, you pitch to things like Smallpox, Collective Brutality, Shining Shoal as a free kill spell. And then when you've Collective Brutality and Liliana the Veiled all the cards you don't want out of your hand, you start reanimating Elish Norn or Iona to win the game, or Chancellors if you have to. This deck absolutely destroyed when Death Shadow is like the top deck. Because it basically just everything in it counters Death Shadow. And I've got a feeling it's going to be good against decks like Blitz. So I really have been wanting to play this deck again. It is a deck entirely of my own design. So I do really like this. Let's see, Pitch Control. Where did I put it? There it is. I'm not even going to edit this deck. I'm just going to run it right into a league. Grimgrin? Or Havengul Lich? Havengul Lich was Dark Ascension, so you're probably thinking of Grimgrin. Oh, Grimgrin was the first mythic I ever pulled. And I love zombies so much. I can't wait for us to go back to Innistrad because I want more zombies. That's what I want in my life. There is actually a zombie combo deck in Modern. That is not the zombie combo deck that any of you are thinking of. You want Delver back? I hope Delver is never in Standard again. But so in Modern, Rooftop Storm is legal, which is Omniscience for zombie spells, right? So all you have to do is you play Rooftop Storm, and then you play Sidisi, exploiting Sidisi. So you sack Sidisi, and you tutor up a Grafdigger, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, because you keep picking up Sidisi and casting her for 0 and tutoring for another Grafdigger effect. And then when you have like 900 zombies on the board, you tutor for win condition that I can't remember off the top of my head. All right, I do want to play first. This is not a good enough hand. We need some turn 0 effects. This hand is also terrible. So we're going to 5. All right, you know what? I'm keeping it. Put back Hollowed Fountain. Put back Flagstones. Reveal, reveal. Play Shambling Vent. Pass the turn. I kept the other Leyline in hand because I'm going to need stuff to discard. Found it on taps. Oh, you just want more reasons, more formats for it to be legal in, huh? I guess that's fair. I think I'm leaning on this is going to be a short stream today because my stomach has been bothering me a lot. But I'll play for as long as I can. Is Delver going to be that much of an issue in Standard when we have things like Uro and Oko coming out? Possibly. We draw Shining Shoal, so play Concealed Courtyard, pass the turn. Okay. Opponent cracks Bloodstained Mire. Gets a Blood Crypt tapped. They untap. Yes, Six Sigma pitch control for the degenerates. We played the Tainted Aria deck minus the tainted portion and upgraded to be a little bit better, and we won 2 matches. One against some kind of like Sultai grind unearth list, and the other against I think it was Esper Control or Blue-White Control. Opponent thrilling discoveries, and it gets countered. Yep. Oh my gosh, am I playing against Dredge? That would be the deck, right? We started turn 0 Leyline of the Void. How do they beat that? Alright, we untap. We draw Urborg. Play Urborg. Pass the turn. Today's been kind of a rough day. I woke up and I was feeling like unimaginably like depressed, like right out of bed, which is weird. It's totally abnormal for me. And so I was like, I'm gonna cheer myself up today, and I I'm halfway to my weight loss goal, so I went and I got a cheat meal and ended up feeling a lot better. But I guess eating junk food is like really upset my stomach, so I've had to deal with that for the rest of the day. But other than that, everything is pretty dandy. So we're going to 3-mode this. Duress, kill, drain. Let's go black, black, pitching Leyline and Chancellor. Pano in the Ano. What? We're going to ditch Cathartic Reunion. Pass the turn. Now, if we could draw... if we could draw a way to reanimate Chancellor, that would be great. Finally got to the point where I wasn't objectively scared of solid food the day after teeth ripping. Nice! I am on a diet. But I've lost 18 pounds in a month. So I'm good. Yeah, I believe he had his wisdom teeth out. Just be careful you don't get dry socket. That's no joke. So it took me a while to recover from wisdom teeth ripping, but I was a senior in high school. Wow, that was a long time ago now. I thankfully avoided dry socket. I never had it. That's disgusting. Thank you for putting that image in my head. Please time out yourself. What's this error message say? You can't time out a mod of this channel. Oh. I mean... So... Okay, we draw planes. That's good, because now we can start attacking with Shambling Vent. I want to mention that every single time I have played this deck and Leylined of the Void in Game 1, I've ended up playing against Dredge. It's not every single time, but it's the majority of times. That's disgusting, man. This is so gross. So I think my opponent is casting Ox of Agonists. I don't even care what's in their hand. There's the Ox. Oh my gosh, I can Shining Shoal to kill it. Leave Dredge alone. It wouldn't be cool if it was never printed. Well, this Ox is gonna Ox itself, if you know what I mean. Opponent goes to combat. I do not know what you mean. Well, allow me to demonstrate. You may exile a white card. Hang on. The next X damage that a source of your choice would deal to you and or creatures you control is dealt to any target instead. That. First Ox I've ever seen hardcast. Choose a source. That one. We'll take 1 damage here, and then the Ox kills itself. Nice. Let me draw that sweet Unburial Rites. My opponent just hardcast Creeping Chill. We untap. Draw Collective Brutality. Fire up Shambling Vent. Go to combat. Attack for 2. They go to 13. Crack Arid Mesa. Huh? They untap. They hardcast another Creeping Chill. Nice. We untap. Oh my gosh. I'm not an assassin. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Hit them to 12. If there was no ban list, how would you make an opponent concede a match? It's simple. You play a deck of 60 Mox Pearls and 60 Shahrazads, and then you tell your opponent you have a deterministic win after playing 8,192,000 games of Magic. It works. Go ahead and just kill that Stinkweed Imp. Fire up Shambling Vent. Why that specific number? Because it involves playing 9 levels of subgames, because each subgame you win takes half of your opponent's life rounded up, but only in the game above the subgame. And because you have a 120 card deck, you always get to play 2 Mox Pearls and that on your first turn, and then Shahrazad, meaning that like you have to go that many times rounded up to kill your opponent in the bottom level subgame, and then you have to kill them again, and then again, and then again, and then you get to the next sub level, and it like works up to being some incredible power of 2. It's fun though, and by fun I mean not for anyone. Don't do that. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Hit them to 8. Pass the turn. Thank you for the idea. Like I said, it involves playing 60 Mox Pearl and 60 Shahrazad. So. Oda plays a Narcomoeba, but we draw a Leyline of Sanctity. Play Leyline. Pass the turn. Toss a Yorion in there for good measure. It's a decent backup plan. Who am I kidding? Oda plays a Stinkweed Imp. I have no idea how to pronounce that word. Real or MTG. I'm not even going to attempt that. We draw Smallpox, but I'm not casting it. I want to draw one more land so I can start casting my Chancellors. Kano and the boys won. Hooked on Phonics. I don't even remember what I got the point for. That's bad. We untap. We draw Lingering Souls. Finally, a way to win this game. Play Lingering Souls. Thank you. Flashback Lingering Souls. Pass the turn. Opponent is trying their hardest. Old Border Prized Amalgam, not bad. Hover on those tokens. They're just the tokens from Strix. They're the most recent Spirit tokens, and the reason that they're blue is because they're 1/1s instead of 3/2s, like they're supposed to be in Strixhaven. We draw Fetid Heath. Alright, here we go. Chancellor of the Annex. Pass the turn. The wood token on MTG is just Minecraft. Wood token? I don't think there's a spirit token out there that you like. You dislike all of them? I don't believe you, Six Sigma. Opponent plays another Stinkweed Imp. Alright, hang on. What? That's not real. There's no way that's real. Oh, it's a proxy? Okay, so we play Chancellor of the Dross. Pass the turn. Play a 2-man and summon a wood token. Test the hypothesis. Yeah, apparently it's Jungle Patrol. Opponent untaps, which is a 4-mana 3/2 summon soldiers from some old set that I don't remember the name of. Okay, so versus Dredge, which is the deck that we're playing against. I definitely want Surgical. I definitely want Damnation, Wrath of God, and Bantus. We're going to go down Smallpox and Inquisition. Try like this. Do you need Surgical if you have Leyline? Yes. I don't want the Inquisitions. This hand is okay, but it is actually a mulligan. We have the other Leyline for that. This strikes me as probably too slow. With no grave hate. So we're going to mulligan. There we go. Perfect. We'll put back a Leyline of Sanctity and a Flagstones of Trocare. Reveal Chancellor, Leyline, Chancellor. Nice. I just said my stomach wasn't it was hurting. Where did that come from? Pitch Control isn't playing Blue Shoal Force Commandeer. Nope. This is strictly a red-white deck, and my opponent refuses to read cards. You just wait till you have 2 mana, dude. And you could completely play around Chancellor of the Annex. Play Godless Shrine tapped. Pass the turn. I don't even need spells to resolve. I mean, we're probably going to get absolutely demolished. Actually, it doesn't look like that. I think my opponent kept a hand that was all anti-Leyline, and I didn't keep a hand that had Leyline. Oh no, opponent. I mean, maybe he's got like double haggle here. He does not. Ley lines, more like lose lines? What's the real question? What's the best art for each basic? Oh gosh. I have no idea. For swamps, it's any of the ones that have purple energy that are foiled. Okay, we draw Shining Shoal, play Marsh Flats, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. So my opponent kept a hand with multiple lands that relied solely on playing Shriekhorn on turn 1 and immediately cast it into Chancellor of the Annex. It's like they didn't even try. This deck is not supposed to be playing a Hollowed Fountain. That's actually misdirection on my part. I'm gonna play Liliana, and I'm not gonna uptick her. Pass the turn. Maybe they got Rip-Aparts? Like, okay, but then what is their hand doing? Their hand needed Shriekhorn to resolve. Okay, they finally found a dredge card. How many play points? Do you mean channel points? Alright, we untap. We draw Flagstones. Play Flagstones, and we're going to uptick, discarding Chancellor of the Dross. Oh. I don't remember which one the OnlyFans command is, though. Pass the turn. Opponent drops Ox in the grave. That's fine. I'm sure this is fine. River of Tears? Oh no. However, will we find out? I guess you'll never know. Wow, I had a short beard in that. Just judging by the thumbnail alone. Opponent's going to loam again. Picking up a land. The beard's what I'm laughing about, not the wind up to the pitch. I can't even click on it. OBS's link is like flickering. Alright. Opponent is now passing. Oh, it's that one. Okay. Okay, we draw Surgical. So... uptick here. And I'm gonna ditch... Elishnorn. Yep. Okay. Yep. I know which one it is now. Opponent discarded Prized Amalgam. Opponent cracks Arid Mesa. Gets another stomping ground. So we're going to save Shining, or we're going to save Surgical Extraction to hit. It's not my birthday, Halsey. I think somebody wished me a happy birthday right at the start of the stream, though. I think it was Dick Record. Can't be a fan anymore. I'm sorry. Opponent is going to loam back another Arid Mesa. Sure. Sure. So I'm kind of expecting them to play Ox. It's not my birthday, obligatory. Oh, man. Opponent playing the Ox. So they discard their hand, which has no dredgers in it. Yeah, I had to. I'm sorry, everyone. So we're going to surgically extract the prized amalgam. Setting an alarm for noon or something every day. My goodness. Alright, opponent gonna get back their Bloodghast. That's fine. Doesn't stop us from surgically extracting this. So they have dredgers in hand. They have no more prized amalgams now. And we actually have a kill spell for the Ox. We untap. We draw on Burial Rites. New plan, everyone. Uptick Liliana. Discard on Burial Rites. Yeah, it's a pretty Bloodghast. Unburial Rites on Elishnorn. This is what this deck was meant to do. Punish degenerate graveyard decks and decks that try to cast 1,000,000 1-drops. Alright, opponent dredges into nothing. Well, they dredge into Bloodghasts, I guess, but basically nothing. Do you know the feeling of casting Goblin Chain Whirler against Elf Ball? Euphoric? No, I've actually not played Goblin Chain Whirler all that much. Opponent just casts Stinkweed Imp to get it into the grave. And scoops. Plot twist, they violin 2 lords in response. Well, they would both die to state-based actions before either one of them affected anything. Yeah, no, really. Because, like, so you activate Vial, it resolves. Like, even if you have both triggers on the stack, when the first one resolves, the Lord would enter, die immediately, and then the second one would resolve, the Lord would enter, and then die immediately. So if the Lord had 3 or more toughness, yes. But because it has 0 toughness upon entering the board because of Elesh Norn, it'd be dead. Or Gazmo? No. You said something about wanting to get better at Jund, right? Yeah. It is a deck that I'm trying to actually... No, Clayton, it is not the art for tonight. The art for tonight should be the banhammer I should hit Sigma with. No. So, creatures on the stack technically have all of the qualities of their card. Because you could have... I'm pretty sure you could have, like, an Essence Scatter that said counter target creature spell with toughness 4 or less, kind of a thing. But it's... The way that state-based actions work is at the end of every, like, ability or card resolution, state-based actions are checked. So the creature would enter the battlefield as part of the resolution of Aether Vial. All of the calculations have to be made for, you know, whether it has, like, all of, like, the layered effects. And Elesh Norn's -2/-2 immediately happens. It's as it's being checked for state-based actions. It has 0 or less toughness and goes to the grave. Then priority happens, and the next player can activate or play spells or do whatever. Yes, if Elesh Norn was out. That was the whole thing that I was... sorry for the confusion. Yeah, go ahead and throw it in the Discord. Yeah. So like if they like Coco to Lord in response to the Chain Whirler and stuff, that's different. It's Goblin Chain Whirler versus like Curse of Death's Hold or Night of Soul's Betrayal, or you know the Lord versus those effects that I'm talking about. Like if they had a Lord already on board, like let's say they had an Elvish Archdruid and you had Curse of Death's Hold on them, they could in fact play Elvish Mystic because it would enter as a 1/1. But if they didn't have that Lord, it would enter as a 0/0 and die immediately. Let's play Red Storm. My Red Storm or the Bergy Red Storm? In the mood for something stupid and fun? This is not the Red Storm I wanted. I want to play My Storm, which was this one. Wait, was there a spell printed that I needed to be playing in this? Bergy is a lot less interesting because the win is basically deterministic. It just involves infinitely flashing back Burning Inquiry. Halsey, the answer to that question is 56 Mountains, 4 Countryside Crusher. It's called 11% of the time. It works every time. Too bad. Too bad. Let me think. What was I... Isn't there a card from Strixhaven I wanted to play in this. I thought there was, but I guess there is not. Why isn't everyone playing that deck? Oh, you guys are something else. All right, let's play some Mono Red Storm. This is the deck list for anybody who is curious. It's effectively Green Red Storm because it plays Channel the Suns as another ritual. It does a very bad Seething Song impression. All right. I'm actually going to restart the client really quick, and then we'll play some Mono Red Storm. No Dragon Storms in this one. This one still wins with a Grape Shot. It's kind of too bad I can't make Battle of Wits Storm. There's just not enough cards that do anything remotely Storm related to go in a deck like that. I'm not even going to do the dignity of reading that out loud, Sigma. Art coming soon. Oh gosh. Tastefully ignoring chat. Nice. Oh, it was Storm Ascension was the better one. But I made it worse by adding all these cantrips. Alright, we'll play the Ascension list. I think this one's actually slightly better. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was like, what is happening? Okay, let's do this. Let's see. Storm Ascension, Storm Ascension. Storm Ascension. There it is. You're sorry for this. What are you sorry about, Halsey? What you're about to brew? What are you about to brew? This hand actually looks pretty sweet. We're going to keep this. We have 2 Cleansing Wildfires and a Pyromancer's Ascension. Opponent leads on Swamp Aether Vial. Interesting. Dude, you're totally fine, Sigma. I'm not worried about it in the slightest. I'm glad that you were able to show up, man. If it like, yeah, I'm really glad that you were able to show up, and I'm happy to have you here. So we're gonna lead on Cleansing Wildfire because we really need to get mana. So we'll get a Mountain. We're gonna empty the Warrens, pass the turn. So next turn we can Ascension, Ritual, turn on Ascension, Cleansing Wildfire twice. But it plays a land. It kind of depends on whether I get hand-hated or not. Double Confidant. Every decent blue-red duel, Spirebluff Canal, Steam Vent, Shivan Reef, Scalding Tarn. So we play Snow-Covered Mountain. Then we play Pyromancer's Ascension. Then we Ritual. Always yes, always yield. Cleansing Wildfire. Get a mountain. Okay. We have turned on Pyromancer's Ascension. So next turn we can draw 1,000,000 cards. So that'd be Scalding Tarn, Spire Bluff Canal, Steam Vents, Shivan Reef. What is the check land, and why can't I think of it? The Innistrad duel. Sulphur Falls, thank you. I actually played that deck in Standard, and you're missing some cards. Alright, opponent attacks us for 4. We untap. We draw Channel the Suns. Perfect. So we... Hi, buddy. What's the matter? What's the matter? What you getting nosy about? Oh, did you need me to throw this? Is that what it was? Go get it. Okay. So we lead on Channel the Suns. Always yes, always yield. Well, you need to do... If you want to do Swans, you have to do Seismic Assault, not Molten Vortex. So we get 10 mana. Then we Valakut Awakening. We get to copy Valakut Awakening. So for the first copy, we put everything back. Any order. We draw 3 cards. Okay, second copy, we put everything back. We draw 4 cards. Then we Warlord's Fury, drawing 2 cards. Manamorphose. Then we Manamorphose. Drawing some cards. Red, and red. Seismic Assault doesn't have an activation cost. Oh, there we go. Pyretic Ritual. Between Seismic Assault and birds, you can shoot birds as long as you're just holding a land, which means you draw more cards. You turn every card you have in your hand into 2 cards or more. Ritual. Drop it. Okay. Then we cast Valakut Awakening. Put the lands back. Any order. We drew another Valakut Awakening. So Valakut Awakening, we'll put back this Valakut Awakening. Any order. Then we Desperate Ritual. Yep. Crash Through. Hazaret's Undying Fury. Yep. Cast another Pyromancer, cast a Desperate Ritual, cast Cleansing Wildfire. Yep. Put this all on the stack. More mana, please. Same targets. Use its ability, get a mountain. Use its ability, no basics left. We draw Finale. Then we get another Hazoret's Undying Fury, and we cast Empty the Warrens. Okay. Yep, make 1,000,000 tokens. What the actual hell did I miss? You missed me turning on Pyromancer's Ascension. Alright. I'm just gonna grape shot them from 17, but we're doing this for swag. Hang on. And we want to Manamorphose. Just keep playing your deck. Let's see, red. Yes, use its ability. Then we go red. Warlord's Fury. Draw more cards. Then we grape shot them. Same targets. Porter. You have any way to give your dudes haste? No. We just cast it for the storm count off of Hazoret's Undying Fury. Alright. And that should be lethal. And to think, opponent left up mana to put Batterskull into play. Alright, that's game one. So versus our opponent, I think we want Nature's Claim and a couple of Shatter Spree. What do we drop here? I think we cut the Crash Throughs. Try it like this. They must have walked away from the PC. Well, where's the toy? Go get it. Okay, this hand might be keepable. We do need to draw a second land, though. And opponent needs to not have Grave Hate. Opponent leads on Concealed Courtyard, Aether Vial. We untap. Draw Cascading Cataracts like a god. Lead on Warlord's Fury. Draw second Pyromancer's Ascension, just in case there was anyone worried. Drop. Drop it. Order. Good boy. Go get it. Tide Hollow Sculler, I'm ready. Wow, I'm also psychic, evidently. I could have been a Thalian, I could have been totally screwed. What will you take? I have redundant copies of everything, opponent. They'll take Pyromancer's Ascension, because they probably have a way to deal with one on board, but we still have to play it. Pass the turn. Drop it. I like how the Porter cam is now the Porter play cam. Hey! You can't be pulling me across the room. Art and memes. I'm sharing this. This is like Pepe Kano with the banhammer and Art Geronimo. This tattoo. Oh, you're gonna gonna kill me. I can feel my heart beating harder. Drop, Porter. Drop it. Drop. Oh, that's fantastic. Alright, we untap, we draw Manamorphose. So first we Manamorphose into double red. Oh my gosh, we get Shatter Spree. So cast Shatter Spree, Damping Sphere, replicated 0 times. Pass the turn. Oh, I don't even know what's happening, but apparently opponent thought Damping Sphere was enough, and we were ready. Thank you, Halsey. Oh, man, I love that art. That's fantastic. Okay, we get hit for at least 3. We just gotta make that a tattoo you never show anyone. Nice. Okay, we untap. Opponent's gonna put in Batter Skull. Sure. We draw Channel the Suns, which is unfortunate because we just don't have enough mana. So we're going to start Ritual, and we're doing this just in case we draw a land. Okay, there's the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm dead if I crack this fetch, so I've got to pass. That sucks. Porter, you're fine, buddy. You're fine. Oh, man. Opponent plays Vault of the Archangel so they can gain a ton of life if they so choose. I think we need to top deck a land? I didn't bring in Weather the Storm. If this didn't have an ability to pump itself, we would be totally fine. Are they going to activate Vault instead? Oh, please activate Vault of the Archangel. If they activate Vault of the Archangel, I'm pretty sure they're dead. Okay, that actually lets us crack this fetch. So crack Wooded Foothills, get a Stomping Ground tapped. We untap. We need a we need a ritual. Does this do it? So I can channel the Suns, Pyretic Ritual, Cleansing Wildfire, Cleansing Wildfire. So that gets me to 6 mana. Then I go down to 2, but then I can't Finale of Promise. Alright. Well, we're doing the only thing we can. Ritual, channel into Promise, then flash them back. Oh, actually, that might work. Always yes, always yield. I have to Cleansing Wildfire, actually, then Finale of Promise. Get another mountain. Draw Warlord's Fury. Okay, so we can Finale of Promise, getting back Manamorphose and Cleansing Wildfire. And now... Oh. We can also get back... Wow, okay, never mind. We are totally fine here. Cast Pyretic Ritual. Cast Cleansing Wildfire. Yeah, we're totally good. Never mind. We've got the storm off. I thought we were actually dead, but Halsey's got me right. Yes. Okay. Yes. Same targets. Get a land and draw. Cleansing Wildfire. Get a land and draw. Desperate Ritual. More mana. Then we cast Manamorphose, cast Cleansing Wildfire, doing this in such a way that we should get the lands tutored out of our deck beforehand. Okay, add red green, Grape Shot, yes, same targets, yes, get the land, draw, yes, okay. We found the Empty the Warrens. Add green, green. Oh, yeah, no, we're good. We're totally good, because then what we do is we Desperate Ritual, Splicing Desperate Ritual. Then we clone the Spliced Desperate Ritual. Add approximately 1 bazillion mana. Play Pyromancer's Ascension. Wildfire, just to draw cards. Wildfire just to draw cards. Then we're going to do that again. Or we're going to cast Warlord's Fury because we are trying to turn on the other Pyromancer's Ascension. Yep. Put all these on the stack. Always yes, always yield. Okay, draw a card. Channel the Suns. Add a ton of mana. Desperate Ritual, Splice and Splice. The double Splice, clone. Double Splice, clone twice, add 1,000,000 red mana. You know what? Cast and Splice. This is Magical Christmas Land. I can't believe we had a line that won, and it's all because my opponent didn't take me to one life. Cast Desperate Ritual. What's the storm count? 17? It's not enough. We need more. More storm! Could really use Niv Mizzet and Dragonstorm? I don't think so. I don't think we need it. Nature's Claim. I could Nature's Claim all of their artifacts, but if I do that, I have to get the storm count way higher. So I'm not going to. Okay, draw more rituals. Yep. Ritual. It's actually kind of laborious to resolve the stack now. I don't want to cast Hazoret's Undying Fury because as sick as it is, it's going to be really annoying to actually try and resolve. Yup. Then what do we do here? Manamorphose, I guess. Nature's Claim, send a message. Green, green. Yes. Add red, red. Add red, red. You know what? I'm gonna do this and replicate 3 times. Kill all your artifacts. Change that target. Kill that one. Yes. Change targets. Kill that one. Okay. Yes. Replicate. Kill Tide Hollow Scholar. Same targets, same targets. Nature's Claim my own stuff to style on them. Cast 7 Past in Flames. Something like that. Everything's gonna have 9 copies of Flashback on it. And we finish with a Grape Shot. This is beautiful in the worst possible way. I love this mono red Storm deck. I mean, I say mono red, but it's got Channel the Suns in it, right? I think we're undefeated this stream, actually. Which is kind of amazing to me. So yeah, you want to play a really stupid, silly red-green Storm list that is objectively worse than every other variant of Storm. So, what happened there was I had 6 mana off of Channel the Suns in a single ritual, and I was like, how do I get enough mana to actually win? And Halsey's like, just Finale of Promise and get them back. And I was like, oh, I got 6 mana, I can do it. And then I looked and I was like, wait a minute. I can flashback a ritual and a Manamorphose and a Cleansing Wildfire with an Active Ascension and draw 4 cards. But then it cloned Finale of Promise, and I had 2 more, or 1 more of each, an instant or sorcery at 2 mana, and so it duplicated the Finale of Promise, and I got to change the targets. So I drew 8 cards and added like 12 mana off of 6 mana worth of spell initially. And then we got a second Ascension and spliced like 5 Desperate Rituals or something stupid. That was fantastic. Oh man, and I thought I was down and out. That's nuts. Do I have another match in me? Maybe. What do you want me to play? Was gonna say Jund. Can you donate art instead of skulls? Possibly. You got me to laugh harder than I've laughed in a long time. What do you want me to play, Clayton? I'll play Jund for another upcoming tryharding video, so you probably don't have to redeem yet. Is there a deck you want me to play, Clayton, for a match? You didn't think you'd get this far? I've got about 1 more constructed match of Magic in me, I think, today. All right. As soon as I receive that, we'll be good to go. Nahiri Boom. All right. Export. Download moto.deck. update with versions in collection. I am apparently missing the Rabble Masters. They're only a ticket, though. So I can get them. I gotta say, I do love me some Nahiri Boom. So I need three Goblin Rabblers. This is the build you're buying in next paper, or buying in paper on your next paycheck. All right, I can get behind that. Okay. I think I gotta sell these Strixhaven packs, but that's fine. I don't need them. Rabble? Okay, yeah, this bot doesn't have it. Just go tickets. Okay, it wants me to take 6. That's fine. 4, 5, 6. Specs could be anything. They could even be a Rabble Master. Best case of bad timing tail. What's that? Okay, then we just need to go get 3 Goblin Rabble Masters. The tale of how you got junned. Did you buy it immediately before lockdown? Goblin Rabble Master. Might as well buy a whole playset while I'm here. Oh my gosh. That's so that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. I have to restart the client because it's lagging pretty bad. I don't even know what that means. Oh, geez, okay. All right, Clayton 225's Nahiri Boom list for a match. For those of you that don't know, this is the premier Boros land destruction deck in Modern. Wow. That, and I bet it wasn't something, it's probably not possible to back that down. Modern 2-man. We're going to go get Nahiri Boom. Let's go. I have no idea what the cost to get that down is. If anyone that went out to do it actually knew how to drive a semi, I see. This is not a keepable hand. We definitely have to go to 6. Try somewhere close to 50k. Jesus. Well, no lands. We got to go to 5. Okay. I can work with this, but it's not great. So we'll put back a Nahiri and I think Wrath of God. Thanks, RNG. Yeah, no kidding. Opponent leads on Mana Confluence, which is never a good sign. It's Dredge! We untap. Draw Inspiring Vantage. Play Inspiring Vantage. Pass the turn. Opponent mills Bloodghast and Bloodstained Mire. If only you had Chancellor in your opening hand. I know, right? We get Creeping Chilled. They drain us for 3. Opponent draws Bloodstained Mire and plays it. Well, they play it. I don't know if they drew it. Yeah, like, semi-delivery stuff is on a very, very tight schedule. Opponent plays a Golgari Thug. I'm going to bolt the Bloodghast. We untap. We draw Mana Tithe. Play Sacred Foundry, tapped, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They mill themselves into another Bloodghast. It's not our best matchup when we don't draw any of the cards we need. Opponent attacks us for 1, sure. We go down to 16. I'm expecting the Thrilling or the Excavation card. Conflagrate X0. Okay. We untap. We draw Cleansing Wildfire. So play Cascading Cataracts. Cleansing Wildfire ourself. We'll Rampant Cycle. I could, in theory, use this against my opponent, but we'll get a Plains. We draw another Cascading Cataracts, pass the turn. Best of luck, Sissia. Thanks for stopping by. It was good to have you. So if my opponent conflagrates dumping their hand, we just tithe it. It looks like that's what's happening here. Opponent conflagrates, dumping their hand. Mana Tithe. Okay. They hit us for 1. The problem is they're going to be able to dredge an Imp and then Ox next turn. We untap and draw another Nahiri. Play Inspiring Vantage. Play Nahiri. Yeah, we gotta loot. Because we're gonna need to find Wrath of God. Alright, perfect. Pass the turn. Go big or go home, opponent. Okay, opponent dredges into a Creeping Chill. Never didn't have it. Absolutely calculated. Alright, here comes the Ox. The problem here is if they draw a land off of whatever they don't dredge. Alright, so they trigger Prized Amalgam, they ditch Stinkweed Imp. So they big dredge, and probably a Loam Dredge. Yep. Okay. So they're getting back a lot of stuff this turn. Yeah, Ghast is actually quite bad for us here. Opponent goes to combat. They attack us or Nahiri? They attack Nahiri for 1. They get back Amalgam. We untap. We draw Cataracts. Uptick Nahiri. Looting away Nahiri, we find Chandra. So, play Cataracts. Oops, that's not what I want. Red, colorless, colorless, red. Play Chandra. Uptick for mana. Wrath of God. Okay, opponent gets to put a creature back on top of their deck, so it's going to be Narcomoeba. I thought about down-ticking Nahiri to get Narcomoeba, but like we needed to draw extra cards and kind of still do. Okay, so they get back a couple of Narcomoebas. The problem is they play a land, and they just get back all their Bloodghasts, and they can loam to guarantee land drop here. Yep. That is what is happening. They play Mana Confluence. They get back Ghast to Ghast, triggering Amalgam. They attack us. Okay, we're going to 5. They get back their Amalgam. And then we untap. We draw Stone Rain. Not really going to do it here, I don't think. We can down-tick to exile a tapped creature. So we could like exile Ghast, kill Amalgam with Chandra. But if they dredge into their 4th Creeping Chill, we die. Their 2nd Conflagrate, we die. Another Bloodghast, and we die. I think we uptick with Chandra first to try and find something. Okay, not casting the Stone Rain. Loot away Stone Rain. Scoop. Technically, down tick was the safer play, but... Okay, let's not... Let's not have nothing. Okay. So, Relics in. Mana Tithes out. Timely Reinforcements in. And Anger of the Gods in. I gotta cut 4 cards now. So let's cut... I think a Stone Rain. Yeah, I think we've got to cut a lot of the Stone Rain effects. We can keep Boom and Bust, because there's actually some legitimate usage to that. I could bring in a Ajani, as the Lightning Helix on Ajani could matter, but I'm just going to run it like this, I think. I fought valiantly, but it wasn't enough. Alright, I would like to play first. Seems good. We'll keep. Lead on Mountain, pass the turn. Oh, man. Opponent leads on Arid Mesa. Cracks it. Gets a Mountain and a Shriekhorn. We untap. Draw Anger. Perfect. Play Flagstones. Cleansing Wildfire Flagstones. We will use its ability. Get a Mountain. Flagstone's going to get us a Sacred Foundry. Tapped. Pass the turn. Alright, we've got all of our big planeswalkers, a Relic, and an Anger. We should be just fine. Opponent mills into a Thug. Untaps. Mills again. Hits nothing. Gonna Dredge Thug here, probably. They mill a Bloodghast. Flagstones made no sense to you in Jeskai Control for the longest time. I mean, it mattered in the Ponza matchup, but generally they were cleansing Wildfiring themselves or playing Lotus Field to get ahead on mana. There was actually a Jeskai Control deck that was centered around Lotus Field. Opponent dredges into a Narcomoeba, but that was their only payoff. We untap. We draw Boom and Bust. So, play Plains. Play Chandra. Uptick for mana. Play Relic. Yeet the Graves. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. And I did that because they had a Conflagrate in the grave. That was the logic there. Okay, opponent plays a land, gets a Bloodghast out of the grave, and plays a Stinkweed Imp. Okay, they attack Chandra and attack us. So we're going to be very mean to them this turn. We untap, we draw another Nahiri. So play Sunbaked Canyon. Uptick for mana. Anger. Play Nahiri. Loot away Nahiri. Pass the turn. And then next turn we Armageddon. It's perfect. Opponent plays a Blood Crypt. Untapped. Man, just cast a Creeping Chill. That's how we know we're making it. They loam nothing. Then they cast Thug. We untap. Draw Mountain. So, loot away Inspiring Vantage. Even better. Play Flagstones. Kill Thug. So it has to put itself on top of the deck. Bust. Bye, lands. Get a Sacred Foundry. Pass the turn. And what will you do now, opponent? They dredge loam. They play Stomping Ground. Tapped. And they concede to the encroaching Emrakul. Sigma's been busy for a couple of days. So I'm sure we'll get back to the tournament any day. Run it back. Yeah, this seems fine. We'll keep. Relic turn 1. Pretty good. Yeah, we're having a user tournament. It's slow going because not everybody can play at the same time. We gotten through round 1 and 2 technically. He's in the Discord. Opponent leads on Arid Mesa. They did mull to 5. We draw a second Relic. So, play Cataracts, play Relic. Pass the turn. We'll be having another one. Just not sure when. Opponent cracks Arid Mesa. For a Sacred Foundry tapped. Exile Arid Mesa. Pass the turn. 2 relics is pretty hard for Dredge to beat, although not impossible. Opponent shocks Stomping Ground. This is an Ancient Grudge. Cathartic Reunion. They're going to do some dredging. They dredge Loam into Thug. And then Thug dredges Bloodghast and nothing else. Okay. We draw Flagstones. Yeah, play Flagstones. Play Relic number 2. Activate Relic. I'm pretty sure because they have Loam in hand. Do I need to crack a Relic now? We get rid of Conflagrate. Why doesn't Dredge play Kroxa? It's 2 mana intensive and slow. It would be effectively just a worse Ox. We're gonna get Pithing Needled. Alright, pop Relic. We draw a Lightning Bolt. This opponent can Pithing Needle Relic. We untap. We draw Acolyte of Flame. So, shock Sacred Foundry. Cleansing Wildfire. Get a mountain. We draw a mountain. Perfect. Pass the turn. Oop. Sorry, bub. Opponent untaps. Thrilling Discovery. Gonna be a big dredge here. They ditch Thug and Loam. They do mill into a Narcomoeba. And a Creeping Chill. Okay. Well, we do have a Wrath of God, but we kind of want to draw Anger. This opponent triggers 2 Amalgams. Maybe we just play Nahiri as a removal spell. That might actually be the case here. We untap, we draw Plains. Play a Mountain. Play Nahiri. Why aren't you playing the Wrath with Girl? Which Wrath? Exile Prized Amalgam. I don't know which Wrath you're talking about. I also don't know what that means. My brain's not working very well right now. Are you talking about the poster one? From oh, the Secret Lair? Oh. I actually like my Magic cards to look like Magic cards. Complete honesty here. I think the Kaldheim, like, Secret Lair ones that were like metal posters, I think those look really cool, and those are like art pieces to me. But I have to relearn what card it is every time my opponent plays one. Okay, opponent dumps their whole hand. They're going to get to dredge more. Hitting a bunch more Narcomoebas. Drop. As long as the relevant issue is in the right spot, I have no beef. Okay, opponent goes to combat. They attack Nahiri, attack us. So Bolt Amalgam. Honestly, I wish for stuff like Moto and Arena, I could turn skins off and just see like the regular version of the card. Because it would really help if I was drafting Cube and stuff like that. So I'm going to uptick here, and I'm going to loot away this Sacred Foundry. We draw Emrakul. Not what I wanted, but... time to Wrath. Pass the turn. Opponent does get back an Amalgam here, which triggers their other Amalgams. They untap. Yeah, the Japanese Mystical Archives in Arena actually have American text on them, right? This opponent is going to loam back lands, and they're going to get back some Bloodghasts here, which is pretty bad. They play Confluence. American... I'm tired, okay? They hit us for 5. We go to 3. We untap. Draw planes. I think I need to have Anger here, or I lose. So uptick, pitch Emrakul. We draw Lightning Bolt. I cannot Bolt Chandra Bolt. Yeah, I actually used to play with a guy at one of the LGSs I would go to that would purposefully try and get a hold of foreign language cards to lie to his opponent about them, and the store owners would do nothing. Like he would totally like just like make up stuff that the cards would do. So I think we play Nahiri, keep the new one. And I either uptick and try desperately to hit Anger, or I downtick and try and survive the amalgam. I think my opponent can ox their Creeping Chill regardless. So I'm going to dump Lightning Bolt and try and hit Anger. Oh, we hit Pillage. But that's a bit too late, unfortunately. Oh, good for you, Clayton. Sorry I couldn't win with the deck. But up till that point, we were undefeated today on stream, which was kind of nice. How many modern cards are there? It's something like between 40 and 60% of all 20,000 unique printed Magic cards. I am too tired for Momir today, Sigma. Otherwise, I would. If I hadn't played the Nahiri Boom League, I would have been down for it. But Clayton donated a very, very nice piece of art in the memes channel that I really, really like. I will. I'm gonna go rest, and I'll be fine. I mainly like. It's just the weird food and stuff I'm on right now, and probably my cheat meal coming back to bite me. But y'all are wonderful human beings. Thanks for watching. I was glad to hang out with all of you today. It was a good time. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.